obsolete, Mr. Wordsworth.
Lie. No man is obsolete.
It's a cookbook.
Who are we?
When will they take the bandages off?
You're a bad man. You're a very bad man.
This lemon sucker here. He's the most suspicious of the bunch.
My name is Talkie Tina, and I'm beginning to hate you.
I believe you're going my way.
Live from Willoughby at the heart of the Twilight Zone. Here are your hosts, Alex and Tyler, the prestigiously perfect podcast in which we call The Twilight Zone.
What is up, Gnomies? I'm Alex.
And I'm Tyler.
Welcome to the Twilight Gnome Podcast, episode 97. What episode are we going to be discussing this week, Ty?
This week we have The Fugitive.
Season 3, episode 25. Original air date, March 9th, 1962. This was written by Charles Beaumont and directed by Richard L. Baer, who did 7 Twilight Zones. Are you ready for them?
Yep.
We're getting kind of close, I think. Third from the Sun, The Fugitive, The Purple Testament, Nick of Time, The Prime Mover, To Serve Man, and What's in the Box. Just 2 more left.
Yeah.
And he also directed, I think I mentioned it on one of his other episodes, but a bunch of those, and so you want to be blank, you know, like old films back
like
in the 50s.
Troy McClure kind of things that he would do. Yep.
We'll get right into it, Ty. What was your favorite moment?
My favorite moment was definitely when he looks like a real alien, or what you'd expect an alien to look like when he comes out behind the rock. Iconic.
I have that, but I also have, I really liked when the little girl wakes up and she goes, "Am I going to die?" And he goes, "Yes, eventually."
There's a lot of things that he says that are very out of pocket, or like you could, I don't know, misinterpret.
We have the technology to rebuild him.
Doctor, what have you created?
I am, for all intent and purposes, AI Serling.
So every week I put a prompt into ChatGPT, come up with a Rod Serling style intro to the episode we are watching, and this week it came up with this. Picture, if you will, a kindly old man in a small town, dispensing wisdom, magic tricks, and the occasional life lesson to the local children. Already sound like a Twilight Zone episode, doesn't it? This is The Fugitive, a gentle little fable about innocence, wonder, and an intergalactic being hiding out in plain sight, right up until the part where time, age, and romance start playing hopscotch, and the episode quietly clears its throat to say, don't think too hard about this. It's a sweet story with a warm heart, a cosmic twist, and one moment that reminds you the show was made in an era where nobody in the writer's room stopped to ask, should we maybe unpack that? Submitted for your approval, a tender fairy tale, a sci-fi escape story, and a slightly uncomfortable reminder that even the Twilight Zone isn't immune to a raised modern eyebrow.
Yeah, definitely one of the episodes where you don't want to look too hard at it.
For sure. All right, so every week Tyler and I come up with a few questions for each other, keep each other on our toes while watching said episode. I have 3 this week.
I have 4.
Go for it.
All right, what do they end the baseball score at?
Dude, I don't even remember that. 5-0.
4-4.
Damn it, tie game. All right. What number is the address of Ben and Jerry's apartment building?
Ben and Jerry's?
Jenny, sorry.
Ben and Jerry live at Ice Cream Lane. It's 724.
Correct. Was that one of yours?
That was one of mine. How long has Ben lived in the building?
Like a year and a half?
Correct, a year and a half.
All right. How much does old Ben say that it will cost for the roller skating her to the stoop? When he goes, all right, ma'am, that'll be...
A kiss?
10 cents.
But like right afterwards, he's like, oh...
Because she says that, I don't have it. And he's like, oh, I think we can arrange something else.
All right. Again, problematic. My last one, what's Ben's apartment number?
He is 3A.
Correct.
What animal statue is near her lamp clock in Jenny's bedroom?
Well, there's rabbits all on the painting, so I'm going to guess the statue was also a rabbit?
There's a zebra.
Oh, all right.
A zebra.
So we open up on a baseball field. There's some kids playing baseball, and we see that little girl in the brace here is having a disagreement with the umpire, to which the only older gentleman in the vicinity kind of speaks up and kind of says, no, Jenny, he's the umpire. You gotta trust what his rules are.
Anyway, look out, kids. It's my turn. I'm going to fucking crank this one.
I'm gonna send this ball flying. Well, originally he was not intending to make it fly that far, but you can tell that Jenny kind of gives him like this little like nod of like hit it to fucking outer space, man.
Right. The old man gets behind the plate and winks at the little girl, touches his nose, and it is pretty funny. It's actually a pretty good little shot for 1962 or whenever this was.
Yeah, the one I really didn't know how they did was the fly, because I couldn't see the string on
I
it.
saw the string like a motherfucker.
No,
dude.
and then there's like parts where like the fly literally moves its wings, and I'm like, how the fuck is it doing?
That was on a string. That was horrible.
The wings were on a string too? Because the fly moves its wings. I guess we're jumping way ahead. But that part I was like, wow, how'd they do that? Like a trained fly?
Yeah. One of the kids says, "That's not fair. You said you wouldn't use magic anymore." A little girl says, "All right, let's play something else then. Let's play Spaceman." Everyone raises their hand. And the old man says, "All right, Jenny, well, it's your turn to be the Martian." And she's like, "No, but you're so good. You can actually change into stuff." And all the kids go, "Come on, Ben, don't be a dirty guy."
And then he's like, "Okay, I'll be the Martian. Jenny, you're the captain." And then one of the kids speaks up and says, "Who ever heard of a dame captain with a gimp leg?"
Right, well, the leg brace. He doesn't say a gimp leg, but yes, he does get to that. Anyway, Jenny's just like, "All right, whatever. You can be the captain." Then Ben goes to hide behind a rock. All the kids kind of seem a little timid except for Jenny. Jenny's like, "Come on, I thought you guys weren't afraid." The captain's like, "All right, but I just need my men behind me." They start walking towards the rock, and an alien comes out from behind the rock. A good alien costume. Go check out our top 10 creature designs. It makes an appearance in there.
I mean, like, I love this character. Design-wise alone, really cool, really ingenious. Kind of reminds me of the Thing from the Fantastic Four, where it looks like rockish body, but the head's more like moth-like. Really cool, interesting design going on there.
Jenny yells, "It's a Martian! Somebody shoot it!" And the kids pretend to shoot it. He pretends to die, and he falls behind the rock. The Martian does, and old Ben comes back out, and he's like, "I think you got him." And then we get one of the least scary, Rod's not going for scary, but it feels so weird to see him in a park at daytime. It just doesn't feel Twilight Zone-y.
I mean, not all the episodes are scary.
No, but it's not
why
foreboding or ominous. Usually he's like a presence, but this time it's just like, hey, I'm just chilling in the park here.
No, I'd say most uplifting or like lighthearted episodes, he's not like popping out being all scary and foreboding.
It's been said that science fiction and fantasy are two different things. Science fiction, the improbable made possible. Fantasy, the impossible made probable. What would you have if you put these two different things together? Well, you'd have an old man named Ben who knows a lot of tricks most people don't know, and a little girl named Jenny who loves him, and a journey into the heart of the Twilight Zone.
This is certainly a lot more sci-fi than fantasy. I don't get what he was making there with that analogy.
I think at the end, like the whole princess thing, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Next shot, old Ben is bringing Jenny home on roller skates. He says, "All right, miss, that'll be 10 cents for the ride." As a joke, Jenny says, "I'll get you tomorrow." Jenny gives him a kiss on the cheek, and old Ben recites a poem. He kicks off his roller skates. They disappear.
Yeah, he's like, "Vanish, you!"
and scat,
and they literally just like disappear out of shot.
And two men in suits witness this whole event, and they're like, "What do you think?" "I don't know." And the next shot, old Ben is sweating profusely, carrying this little girl up the stairs. She asks, "Why don't you use your magic to help my legs be better?" And he's like, "Because then I wouldn't have the fun of carrying you up the stairs, my dear."
Yeah, he kind of avoids the question, but we can kind of tell at some point we'll probably be getting an answer as to why.
Right. And then they are interrupted by the aunt, which they do a pretty good job of making you dislike her.
She's both dislikable, but at the same time, a lot of her concerns about Ben are totally founded.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know why I said sure, like fucking, I agree with you.
Sure. Yeah. I don't think so, but okay. Sure.
I told you to be back before the store's closed.
Oh, it's all my fault, Mrs. Gann. Jenny told
It's
me.
always your fault, ain't it?
Oh, come on, Aunt Agnes.
Shut
stop
up, you ungrateful little gutter snipe. After all I done for you. After I fed you and took care of you and give you a place to sleep. Where'd you be now if it wasn't for me? Well, I'll tell you where you'd be, in an orphanage, that's where. And if you don't mind your P's and Q's, that's just where you're going. Now you get inside.
Mrs. Gann, don't you ever lift your hand at Jenny again.
Look, You just listen to me. I have got my stomach full of you hanging around that girl, turning her against me and filling her head up with that crazy stuff. You hear me?
You think I'm deaf?
Well, I ain't gonna put up with it no more. If you so much as talk to her, I'm gonna call the cops.
Yeah, the audacity of Ben to tell her how to raise her own niece, that is a bit of a step too far. And it's not like she's totally awful to Jenny.
Old Ben walks upstairs. The aunt tells Jenny, get in bed, no supper tonight. And then she gets...
It's still clearly daytime. I mean, I guess if it's
in the
summertime. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's not that late. Later on, we see the clock and it says like 6:45. I'm like, why the hell is she already in bed? Like, it's like way too early.
Sometimes I like to go to bed that early. She gets a knock on the door. The two men in the suits that saw Ben doing the old magic trick are there. They say that they were trying to gather some information on a man they call Old Ben. I wonder if they mean Old Ben Kenobi.
I know. Every time this whole episode, I kept thinking of that line. I wonder if they're thinking about Ben Kenobi. But yeah, the aunt's just like, oh, I knew it. He did something bad, didn't he?
Yep. She's very eager to tell him anything. The aunt starts talking to the cops. I guess we'll call them the cops for now.
Yeah, I just kept writing cops as in my notes.
And while she's talking to him, Jenny sneaks out of her room, goes upstairs to talk to Old Ben Kenobi,
and give him the warning of, look, there's 2 cops looking for you.
I like how he's like, what did they look like? She gives the most like basic description. That's them, all right. One of them had brown hair and one of them was blonde. That's them, all
They're
right.
tallish and they have the most regular hair. Yep, knew it. Well, it was like the last flight, the last episode, when they're like, we flew through a cloud. What color? A white cloud.
White one.
No fucking shit. What other types of clouds are there?
Ben says, I can't really tell you what's going on, Jenny. Jenny says, come on, but we're friends. Friends don't keep secrets. We hear the aunt yelling for Jenny. Where are you? Jenny tells Old Ben, you could hide. Ben says, it's too late for that. They get a knock on the door, and next shot, Jenny's in the room all alone. Ben has seemed to disappear. He used his magic.
And then the quote-unquote cops are asking Jenny, where did he go? And she's like, I don't know. I think he must have been left already. He must be out at the park.
Right. They say, all right, let's keep this quiet. The aunt's like, oh, okay. I know how to keep my mouth shut. They go downstairs. They thank the aunt for her time. Aunt then says, now get to bed and don't try sneaking out again. Jenny goes into her room, opens her hand, and a little mouse is in the palm of her hand. Ben turned into a little mouse.
Yeah. Well, the mouse was originally in like her pocket of her overalls or whatever first, and she takes it out.
Mm-hmm. And then Old Ben is on her bed, and he's like, we fooled him, didn't we? And then Ben explains how he changes. He's like, it's all just matter and stuff. He gives a very basic answer to how he's able to transform himself into anything.
I mean, I get it from the writing perspective. Like, it's not really plot relevant.
Getting a little ahead of ourselves on the basis of that. I love, like, which planet are you from? It doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't.
I'm an alien. That's all you need to know, kid. I got magic powers.
Jenny says, what are you going to do now, Old Ben? And Old Ben says, I wish I knew, little monkey. He's like, well, then how come all those men are after you? Did you rob a bank? No.
Did you kill people?
No. Then you must be a communist.
I like
not
how
a communist.
In the 50s and 60s, like, well, if you're not a murderer or killer and you're a criminal, must be a communist.
Right. And then I'll play a little bit of this because he's like, those guys are far too clever. Now, I'll tell you my secret.
You see, I am not actually a resident of this world.
Huh?
I'm from another planet.
I knew it. Which one? Mars?
No, you've never heard of it. But anyway, Jenny, you see, those 2 men are trying to catch me so they can take me back.
Because of what you did?
Uh-huh. And I don't want to go back.
I like it. But anyway. He says, but before I go, now that they found me, I got to find a new world, so I got to leave anyway, so there's one more thing I want to do here.
And he pulls out some weird-looking flashlight with some beads on the end, and
it looks like one of those things you get like on Disney on Ice that just spins around.
Yeah, it kind of does, and it makes this cool whirling sound, and he takes off her brace on her leg and magically fixes her leg. She can walk again.
Right. The aunt comes in. She's like, who are you talking to? Obviously. Old Ben has disappeared, and Jenny says, myself. And the aunt's like, well, cut it out. You'll go crazy that way. And then we hear a fly, and you can clearly, I have it written down, you can clearly see a string. It's pretty funny.
I could not see the string, but it also starts outside the window and then goes inside, which, another thing, like, how did it do that if there's a string on it?
I'm telling you, they did not have a trained fly tie.
and then it moves its wings. You can literally see its wings move. So like, was there a
It's probably just jerking it up and down, Giggity, to make the wings go off.
a second set of lines for the wings?
I don't know. I mean, there might have been a small little.
I was impressed by the fly.
I would have thought you always nitpick things so hard. I'm completely in awe that you actually think that was a good effect.
Yeah, because like I said, 1, it flies through a window. You can't do that with a string. 2, I didn't see the string, and 3, its wings move. Impressive.
Impressive. Yeah, we see the fly near the window, and Jenny jumps right up, and her leg's all better now. And then Jenny decides to run out. She runs downstairs. The 2 men that are looking for Old Ben are at the bottom of the stairs. And one of them looks just like Caesar from Caesar and Me. Did you notice that? The guy in the black suit? He looked exactly like the ventriloquist dummy came to life. It creeped me out.
Yeah, he kind of has one of those, like, rigid wooden faces, I guess.
And they're like, what happened to your brace? Where did he go? They pull out that same gadget, and they're like, one of them's like, no, don't. And he's like, it's the only way.
So apparently this medical device can both heal people of any injury or malady, and it can also cause you to, like, basically almost die.
Right. The next shot, the doctor's looking at Jenny. And this is like the most useful or useless doctor of all time. He's
well, I can't figure out what's wrong.
I don't know.
Goodbye.
He's like, yeah, it's not good, though. I've done all I can do. Whatever it is, it's beyond my knowledge. Well, anyway.
He says he's done all he can do, but, like, he didn't do anything.
He took his stethoscope off. He's like, if her pulse gets any weaker, she won't make it.
And, like, the aunt's confused, too. She's like, oh, stupid kid. She shouldn't have gone running out without her brace like that. And the doctor's like, well, whatever's wrong with her has nothing to do with her leg. Her leg is totally fine, actually.
Right. The aunt covers Jenny up. She tucks her in, leaves the room, and the fly comes back. Jenny wakes up looking for the fly. It comes through the window, lands on the chair, then Old Ben is back. Jenny's like, I thought you went away. Old Ben said, I did, but I couldn't stay away from my best friend for long. What seems to be the matter? She tells him the whole story about how the men did that device thing on her. She asks, am I going to die? And he's like, yeah, eventually, but not right now. Anyway, close your eyes. And he takes the device out again, and she's miraculously better.
A lot of better way for him to have phrased that. Like, am I going to die? Yes. But not today. Like, you could have just been like, no, you're not going to die. You'll be fine.
Jenny's eyes widen, and she goes, Ben, they're here. And he's like, I know. The 2 men say, all right, Your Majesty. That was a horrible thing you did, Ben said to them. And they're like, we didn't want to, Your Majesty, but we had to get you to come back. And Jenny says, what's up with all this Your Majesty stuff?
Yeah, she's quite confused.
Hurting a little girl.
We didn't want to hurt her, Your Majesty.
It was the only way, sir. We knew you'd come back to make her well again.
I understand, but I still don't like it.
What's going on? What's this Your Majesty stuff?
Well, little monkey, I have a confession to make. You see, I'm a fraud.
Huh?
I'm not really a criminal, and these men really aren't policemen. They're my subjects. And I regret to say, I am what you would call the king.
Aw, come on.
Cross my heart and hope to die.
Then what were you running away for?
Well, that is a little hard to explain. You see, I guess I really wasn't cut out to be a king. All that fuss and responsibility and, I don't know. After the first 1,000 years, it sort of got me down.
So we can already tell from this, his species must age insanely slow because he's already been a king for well over 1,000 years, and he said he would have to be doing it for like
4,000
another.
more.
Yeah, so he was like, no, I just kind of gave up my responsibility and ran away from being a king.
Jenny says, well, you must have been a pretty good king for them to have to follow you. And the 2 subjects are like, he was the best king. We're just as fond of him as you are. And Jenny's like, well, you can't have him. Old Ben's like, well, I guess I have to go now, Jenny.
And she's like, well, can I come with you? To which the cops are like, nope, council won't allow it. We can't take her back, too.
All right, Jenny's like, don't leave me. I love you. Ben's like, if only there was some way we could. And then Jenny kind of gets an idea, whispers in his ear. And Ben's like, can you guys leave us alone for a minute? And obviously they're like, we're not falling for that. And he's like, I promise I will not leave this room.
To be fair, he doesn't.
So they leave. And apparently time freezes.
I don't think time froze. I think it was like, you know how when Professor X like freezes people's bodies, but like time is still going on. Like if they were drinking water, the water would still be like falling and stuff. I think that's what was happening. Like they just froze them.
So anyway, the doctor and the aunt are frozen out in the living room. The aunt is moving quite a bit.
That I did notice.
They picked a terrible position for her to be in.
Well, because you want to pick like dynamic ones where it looks like someone is in motion. Otherwise, if they were just sitting, they'd be like, I don't know, doesn't really look like they were frozen.
True. But anyway, they ash the guys the doctor's cigarette, and they're like, all right, it's been long enough. They go back in, but now there's 2 little girls. And obviously they do the whole, you got to bring both of us now because you don't know which one's which.
Be an awful shame if you traveled all the way back to your home planet with the wrong kid.
And Rod takes us out.
Mrs. Gann will be in for a big surprise when she finds this under Jenny's pillow. Because Mrs. Gann has more temper than imagination. She'll never dream that this is a picture of old Ben as he really looks. And it will never occur to her that eventually her niece will grow up to be an honest-to-goodness queen. Somewhere in the Twilight Zone.
Super weird. So why would you leave it like a calling card? Like, this is the man who took your niece. Just some, 18-year-old kid.
That is strange. Also, what a downer that it wasn't a cool alien. Like, we only got one cool alien transformation in this entire episode. Like, I was really hoping, because I'd obviously seen this one before, but I didn't remember the ending. But I was hoping for, another cool costume design, and no, it's just a normal human-looking guy.
For sure. And also, it's weird that usually... Obviously, we see Rod in season 2, 3, and 5.
But we only see him once.
Yeah, at the end, it's usually just a voiceover, but we actually see him in the flesh, and I don't know.
He had to pick up the calling card.
I guess so. But anyway, that was our episode, Tyler. What did you learn?
I learned being a king ain't all it's cracked up to be.
Sure isn't. We'll jump right into ratings. IMDb currently has us at a 7.5 out of 10. Do you think we're going to be close, or no?
I think so, probably.
You want to try?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3,
7.
6.5. Pretty close. All right. Yeah, I mean, it's charming enough. It's trying to be one for the angels, I feel like, and it just doesn't stick the landing. I wish there was more alien stuff. I mean, I know a lot of people have a problem with it being, creepy because he's with the little girl. I think he's just genuinely a nice guy, kind of like Lou Bookman. But
except he marries her.
Yeah, that part at the end kind of crosses the line. But I don't know. Yeah, this one, for an alien episode, 6.5.
Yeah, I'm giving this one a 7. Similar to you, it is fun and whimsical, but it's also lacking any meaning or message. It's just kind of fun for the sake of being fun. And then also, it really does not stick the landing as well as One for the Angels does. One for the Angels is probably going to be the one this is compared to the most because it has very similar vibes, but this one just does not stand up to it.
Who are they? Where are they? What are they? Let's find out together in the Twilight Gnome presents Inside the Twilight Zone.
All right, so this week we have Susan Gordon. She played Jenny, and unfortunately she is not with us anymore. She died in 2011 at the age of 62. But she had 27 credits to her name from 1958 to 1967. She was in 1 episode of Playhouse 90. She was in 1 Hitchcock Presents, 1 Gunsmoke, 4 episodes of My Three Sons, but kind of after, I would say, in her 20s or so, she kind of got away from it. Actually, she wouldn't have been 20, maybe in her teens. Then we have J. Pat O'Malley. He played Old Ben.
Old Ben Kenobi?
Yes, this very same. He was in 4 Twilight Zone episodes, and now we have completed his resume. Can you name the 4 that he's in?
Is he the guy that said, "My Zelda"?
Yes, he's in Mr. Garrity and the Graves.
Is he one of the townsfolk in the one where the guy comes back to life?
No.
I can't think of any other ones he might be in.
He's in Salvador Ross. I do not remember him in Salvador Ross.
Oh, he was the sick guy.
My cold. I would trade my cold. Yes. And then he is in The Chaser. He's the man at the phone booth all right, here you go. Take your money. Go away.
All right. The voice you're doing there reminds me of Mr. Deeds, oh, D.
Oh, my Mick Deeds. I just watched that movie the other day. It's a very good movie. But anyway, he was in... he had a bunch of credits. He had 246 credits in his lifetime from 1941 to 82. Lots of Disney cartoons. He did voiceover a lot for 101 Dalmatians, The Jungle Book, Alice in Wonderland. But pretty good. He has what's his? I think Mr. Garrity's my favorite of his. 4.
Out of
Salvador, The Chaser, Garrity, and The Fugitive.
I love The Chaser. He's also a minor. Am I saying my favorite episode that he's in, or like my favorite of
episode.
his characters?
Favorite episode that he's
Chaser.
in. You like Chaser better than Garrity?
Yeah, I love Chaser.
Crazy.
Good episode.
Then we have Nancy Culp. She played Agnes. She was in 247 episodes of the Beverly Hillbillies. I never really watched that show, but that's quite the feat. She was in One Playhouse 90, One Hitchcock Presents, and trivia was incredibly light on this, which, I mean, I guess it's not a big episode, so it's not really like, oh, it was a grave injustice.
Which is kind of funny. It always took out in my mind as being like a very famous one. Like, all the aliens are definitely the most memorable, or some of the most memorable.
Yeah, for sure. This one very lacking for an alien episode, which they kind of blow their load early, showing the alien.
Yeah,
so early, but in total, this episode cost $48,012. The director received $1,458, which is very odd, because usually, I mean, it'd be the $1,250, but even sometimes it's the $1,500, but being like $40-something off.
Yeah.
Kind of weird. And the cast received $7,262.
What'd you say your name was?
What's in a name, Mr. Benninger, really? A mere question of semantics. Just language. A mere stretch of words.
So every week, Tyler and I come up with a few alternative titles to the episode we are watching. I have 3 this week.
I have 6.
Holy crap. All right, go for it. Do like 2.
All right, I'll do my 2 debacles, because I did 2 debacles this week. I have the disguise debacle, and I have the desertion debacle.
Pretty good. I have the derelict debacle. I looked it up.
Yeah.
It does fit.
Well, derelict usually means like homeless and like
there's someone running
run
away.
down.
Running away from their home. I looked it up. The second meaning did mean. Fucking A.
Usually it means, though, like run down or.
Yes, for the first one. You know how it gives like 2 definitions of
Yeah.
it? The second one was pretty much like someone running away from their house.
I've only ever heard it the first time. All right. Oh, another one for me?
Yep.
I have Old Ben.
I wonder if he's related to Old Ben Kenobi.
I got Take Me to Our Leader.
I have Little Monkey and the Alien.
I have The Abdicating Alien. And then my favorite, Catch Me If UFO Can.
That's pretty good. I like that one. Switcheroos. I have 5.
I got 4.
All right. Go for it.
Mirror Image.
I don't have that. I have Third from the Sun.
I got A Nice Place to Visit.
Yes, I have that. I have The Whole Truth.
I got Will the Real Martian Please Stand Up.
I have The Encounter.
And I have The Hunt.
Yep. And then I have 2 that you have to switch the names a little bit, but
All right.
I have King Ben Will Not Return.
Sure.
And One for the Aliens.
Yeah. I like that where it's like very close already to One for the Angels. That's fun. I like that one.
One for the Aliens.
Oh, it may be better, it may be worse. The Twilight Zone may be first.
All right, so slim pickings this week for references. But starting us off, 1998's The Parent Trap. Near the end of The Parent Trap, there's a scene where Hallie and Annie won't reveal who is who until they've gone on their family camping trip. Obviously, very similar to what Jenny and Ben pull there at the end of this episode. Where
I just watched that movie. That's a very good movie, too.
It is
I've
such
never
a good
seen
movie.
the 60s one, though.
No, I've watched it once. I did not enjoy it. Other than that, though, I'm just going to list a couple movies that kind of have themes of trying to escape your royal responsibilities before eventually succumbing to your responsibility and the role it takes. We got The Lion King, Return of the King, and The Once and Future King. Then other than that, some movies that kind of have themes of children befriending aliens. We have E.T., Lilo and Stitch, Mac and Me, and Explorers.
Pretty decent. All right, so every week Tyler picks the episode, and he does so by showing me an AI-generated picture. I play a little game where I have to guess what it is. Are we in...
We are in a block of 5 where it's all 5 categories and all 5
When
seasons.
did it start?
It started with the last episode. It was Time
With the last flight?
with the last flight.
And then
we
this
just
is
did
Alien.
Alien Season 3.
So it's either going to be future, other, or death.
Correct.
I have no idea.
You ready?
Yep. Wow, Obsolete Man.
Yep. Classic.
It's a big one. All right. Is it as good as I remember?
It's really good. I really enjoyed this episode a lot. I haven't seen Printer's Devil yet, but I think this would
Burge is best.
probably be my favorite Burge.
Yeah, most likely. Printer's Devil's really good because seeing him play the devil, he's such a sly, cunning devil. It's very good, but you could tell he was having fun with that one.
Yep.
It being season 4 is a huge hindrance, I think, but I'm excited for you to see that episode.
Yeah. But next week, we got
Obsolete Man.
Obsolete Man.
Be there. All right. Just a little housekeeping, guys. If you could please continue to like and subscribe on the YouTube page, it would mean the world to us. And while you're doing that, if you could go over to the posts and look at some of Ty's polls that he keeps dropping on Tuesday. He's got a lot of really good ones. If you ever find yourself bored, you probably got like a half hour's worth of going through and answering some poll questions. I always like doing that. If you need to get a hold of us for any other reason, you can email us at twilightgnome59@gmail.com. And, yeah, thank you guys so much for continuing to listen. It really does mean the world to us. My final question for you, Ty, it's a big one. Would you give up being king for an 8-year-old girl?
No, that'd be very creepy. If it was to save someone's life, I guess.
No. It's very hard to come up with a question for this one this week.
If you were a shape-shifting alien, what
would you
want
do?
to
A
look
lot
like?
cooler shit?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess technically he shapeshifted into a mouse and a fly. He did a couple little shape-shifting things.
Sure.
He just did Alien because the kids wanted to play Alien.
Yeah, I guess.
Which is kind of ironic because they didn't even know he really was an alien yet.
I mean, someone with magic abilities where they can shapeshift and make
be a
skates
wizard.
disappear. I don't know.
I mean, fucking
Earth has wizards now?
Oh, fuck, the aliens now? Like, if an alien and a wizard, like, would you be like, I know that wizard ain't real, but that alien's probably real?
I mean, if I saw someone doing extraordinary things, my first assumption would be they're probably an alien.
Really?
Yeah.
It could
I'd
be like
assume
an interdimensional traveler.
That's still an alien.
Could be
You're not from Earth, you're an alien.
God or an angel or something. You don't fucking know.
I'd
It
go
goes
with
right to alien?
Yeah, I'd go right to alien.
All right. What would you guys go to? If someone did something miraculous in front of you, what would you assume? If he's a fucking devil.
Burn him at the stake.
But until then, Ty, do you have anything to say to our dear, dear gnomies out there?
Yes, thank you all for stepping in the Twilight Gnome with us.
It's 4 o'clock, the howling man is gone.